Audio Jungle.
Welcome. This is actually on the Fringe Studios. Is where we're at. The location.
What's up, everybody? Chris DAW here. I'm going to do a little switch up, and I wanted to do some technical interviews and meet up with some really cool people and people that inspire me. So I'm here with Mr. Dave Swillum. We are on location on the Fringe studio, and that is in West Newbury, Mass. And I'm with, like I said, Mr. Dave Swillum. Thank you, sir, for being with me.
Dude, thank you for having me.
And he is the owner and operator of CrawlSpaceAudio. That's
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
And but that's just not all he does. He's a drummer. He's in a band. I think you sing and play guitar in that band?
I sing, I play bass, and I usually get hurt. I'm good at that. I'm good at all of that. No, I'm just kidding. Mostly the hurt. I'm bad at bass and...
But he's also an engineer here at the studio. And that's how I actually met him. I actually was in a band and did recording, and he was the engineer. And what was really great for me, it was the first time and probably the only time that I recorded when the engineer was a drummer. And that for me was a big thing because he was already in my head. He already knew what I was feeling and thinking and would be a step ahead of me as I'm recording, or he kind of knew what I wanted to do. So it was really cool, and I always thought of him, and that's just great to be able to hang out with you again and be back. And
Dude, that session was fun, man.
yeah, it was.
And it's the same way. Like, I like working with definitely the drummers because I know what sucks for you usually right away, and I know what's going to be a fun thing. And I like when drummers are engaged with the session. So
Yeah,
it's a good
that
time,
was-
dude.
That was a rough one for me. Not rough, but like it was a lot of
fly.
punch-ins and a lot of things. And you know, the extreme music that I was playing is not exactly my forte. It's not like my niche. I mean, I can do it, but the music that we were doing is pretty extreme.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I learned a lot from it. But I wanted to come and interview you and kind of ask you, as a drummer, what got you started? Is that what you started with, playing drums?
Drums, yeah. When people like ask, what do you play as an instrument? I say that I'm a drummer.
Okay.
Because
Sorry.
I couldn't, dude, I play bass and vocals right now, and I love it. And I think that happened because I really, I like to really be hands-on in every part of the song, which is why I like producing. But I got into drumming like super classic, like 3rd grade. Hey, do you want to do band class? Go through a high school and pick out your instrument and like literally
Nice.
try each thing. And I tried like trumpet and I tried drums. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely doing drums now.
That's
and
awesome.
I did that like normal way through school, like classic, like just no
Marching
drum kit,
band
snare drum, yeah,
kind of thing.
symphonic. And then probably freshman year of high school, I got a drum kit. And that's when I was
Wow.
like, oh, okay.
And that was a couple years ago.
Yeah. No, I'm aging, you know what I
okay.
mean? Like, I'm on my way. So,
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, 10 years. 10
I'm
years.
28.
I'm 10 years your senior.
Yeah.
So what was so that was your first intro into drums? Just you walked into a room, saw a bunch of instruments, and you gravitated towards the drums.
Yes.
So when you jumped on the
It
drums,
was just a drum pad at that point.
Oh, okay.
Literally a drum pad and sticks. But I just, like, everything else was not entertaining to me, but that was cool.
so what would you say was your first drum daddy, like your god, what got you really hyped about drums? Like
In 7th grade, so that's before I had my kit, right? Someone on the bus next to me gave me the self-titled Slipknot record.
ooh,
Okay? So Joey Jordison very quickly became kind of my...
What an intro into drumming.
It's a lot to keep up with to try to...
blown your mind, like, what is he got 2 bass drums? What's going on?
What is this guy doing? Oh, okay, he's flipping around in the air. Yeah. He's insanely short. How's he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy...
He was doing his thing back then, for sure.
He got me going, man. That was like the first like kit influence that I was really after.
Now, how did you get in here? Like maybe if somebody's out there and they're trying to get into something like this, like how would they go about making first contact with the studio? Now, was it like linked with the school somehow, or somebody give you a contact, or you just looked up in the yellow pages or online or something?
So my story is weird for here anyway, where like there are just random connections that are out there. So I think like I'll say that I really believe that putting what it is that you want to do out there helps things move in the direction to put you where you want to be.
For sure.
Because I was adamant, I was saying, I'm going to school for this. My dream is to do recording for bands and music full time. That's what I want to do. And my mom, she knew that obviously because that's me, you know, but she was a limo driver. Okay? She was a limo driver, and the owner for this studio was using the limos to go into Boston to go see shows.
Big baller.
And loved my mom. Like, just loved having her as the driver. Okay. So she was always his driver all the time. And then she asked him if I could intern here. And then I started interning here.
That's a cool story, man. Thanks, Mom.
Really random. Yeah, thanks, Mom. But for those that don't have like a random connection or something that happens like that, I would say doing things for free. Definitely. For sure. Like there's people out there that are gonna do things for free, even if you're not good at first. There are people that want something for free. And the more that you do, the better you'll get.
I think the biggest thing too, and me just personally, maybe just my personal view, I see a lot of kids of the newer generation being really entitled right away. Being really kind of, I know what I'm doing, I'm cool, or whatever. And I think just being really humble, willing to learn, open-minded. Just be open-minded, man. If you go into any situation, don't take anything for granted, and you're going to learn a lot. I just see so many kids now that think they know everything, and they just think they're going to take over the world, and they're going to be the next P. Diddy or something, or they're going to be this big mogul. And it's just like, you got to start somewhere. Well,
for me, like for college, dude, it's like I never went into college going for audio saying that because I have a degree that's going to get me into music. I think that's an absolute mistake. Like, you will get into music for exactly what you just said. You're a good hang, you're good at what you do, and you're willing to put in work. And college helped me be a better person and musician, but it's not like I took my degree and brought it to the studio and I was like, hey, my degree means that I can come here, right? It's like, no, you're going to sit here and you're going to work on shit late into the night and on the weekends until you are good, you know?
So he's going to show me a little rundown of how he mics drums. So Dave, take it away.
Right on, dude. Yeah, this is this is a smaller setup than you used when you tracked here, but it's actually the same kit, same snare when you tracked. And I do something different for every project. So there's some times that I'm going to use more mics than this, sometimes I'm going to use way less. So this is something that's like pretty typical that I do, where what I've got is I've got the snare mic'd on the top, mic'd on the bottom. I've got a Shure SM57, which is a staple in pretty much every recording studio ever will have at least one. Underneath I've got a small diaphragm condenser, Shure KSM 141, and that's going to get the attack on top and the thud on top. And then the bottom I'm going to get some of those the actual snare pieces that make a snare, and that's going to be brighter. So on the toms, these are something that you'll see a lot in studios. These are Sennheiser. On the toms, you're going to see Sennheiser 421s. These are used pretty often for toms, but they actually weren't designed for them, which is kind of funny, but you'll see them quite a bit. And then overhead, I've got AKG C414s. And those I like because you're still going to get the bright from the cymbals, but you're actually going to get a lot of shell inside that sound. So when they get compressed and crunched up a bit, you can get kind of like a lot more out of your even kick and snare and toms, even though you're going for overheads with that.
Okay.
And then
I gotta see this kick drum setup, man.
Yeah, this This is a
sweet.
Beta 52 in kick, and that's going to be for attack usually. And then on the outside, this is a Yamaha sub kick. So for those that don't know about this, what it is a speaker that has the wiring reversed. So any microphone can be a speaker, and any speaker can be a microphone depending on how they're wired up. And so when you listen to a subwoofer in a song or a mix or your equipment or whatever you're listening to, that's always going to have the lower frequencies. Same thing's happening right here, where this only normally as a speaker would put maybe 80 hertz and lower out.
1.21 gigawatts!
Because it's wired backwards, this only wants to take like 80 hertz and lower in.
1.21 gigawatts!
So this is only going to get that low woof right now. So when I'm mixing, I can take this and cut a bunch of low end and make that tick sound, that really clear tick sound high up in the frequency. And then this is going to be all my low right there, and I'm going to get rid of all the high in here and make that low woof right there.
Love it. It's beautiful.
So, yeah, I mean, it depends on the project. Like I've done for my band, you know, we're indie rock. Sometimes I'll do as low as like 3 or 4 mics. And then for some metal bands and other projects I've done as many as like 13 or 14 mics. And actually the only one I didn't say is I always do a room mic.
Yes.
And usually I take this and I fly it like as high as I really can. And in this room it's nice because we have the wooden ceilings in here, so this will actually get a lot of low end up in that corner right there. And this is going to get compressed to all hell. This is always going to be really, really trashy, compressed. And it's not even something that you're really ever going to hear as like a featured thing unless I'm going for like an effect. It's always just going to be tucked down in there and compressed heavy. That's going to just bring the drum's presence in the mix up a little bit.
All right, that's about it for Chris and Dave. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a lot. You can look Mr. Dave up on CrawlSpaceAudio.com. What's the name of your band?
Yeah, so I am in Broadwing. You can check out broadwingband.bandcamp.com if you want to listen to some indie rock. You can check out all the recording that I'm up to and actually some tips on home recording at CrawlSpaceAudio.com. And if you're a creative out there looking to make a career out of it, find out how to monetize your creative, check out wakingupfromwork.com to listen to my podcast and talk to creatives around everywhere.
Yeah, man. This guy's the truth, man. This has been really fun. We had a great time jamming.
It's been a blast, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
Dude,
I appreciate
thank you for coming down en masse.
Absolutely, man. Until next time. Peace out.
Peace.